Hi everyone, it's Dr. Prashant here, and by profession, I'm a pediatric surgeon practicing here in Pune, India. And along with my surgical practice, I also work as a health and wellness coach since last almost 8 years. And we basically help doctors for weight loss, diabetes reversal, thyroid reversal, or other lifestyle disease reversal. Okay. And we give guaranteed results. If it doesn't work, you don't pay. All right. So good. So let's begin with today's topic. And today's topic is about omega-3. And there's a lot of buzz about omega-3, which is there in the market. And a lot of people are talking about it, about its benefits. So let's talk about what is omega-3 and how does it help us. Okay, so omega-3 is actually a type of fatty acid. Okay, and there are three types of fatty acids. All right, basically omega-3, omega-6, and omega-9. Okay, and omega-3 has gained more importance these days because the ratio which used to be there earlier between omega-3 and omega-6, that has got deranged. All right, so we need to have a proper ratio about between omega-3 and omega-6. Now, if this ratio gets disturbed, then there are problems which are created. Okay, so all are essential. Okay, 6, 9, as well as 3. But what has happened in recent times is that the consumption of omega-6 has increased significantly. All right, so if you see almost all of the junk foods, the types of oils that we're using, so unhealthy fats, a lot of omega-6 is there actually. And what happens because of that is that the ratio between omega-3 and omega-6, which is supposed to be 1:1, that has gone to almost 1:16. And in some cases, it is also up to 1:28 or probably more than that. Okay. And that is the reason that it creates a lot of problems. Okay. इसकी वजह से ये सब problems create हो रहे हैं. And here comes omega-3 as a savior for us. All right. So let's talk about omega-3. It has three components actually. One is DHA, okay, which is called as docosahexaenoic acid. The other is EPA, which is eicosapentaenoic acid, and ALA, which is alpha linolenic acid. Okay. Now there is no point in talking about the details of what is DHA, EPA, ALA. Let's go into the further discussion of it. Okay. So let's talk about what are the sources. All right. And there are vegetarian sources and there are non-vegetarian sources. Let's talk about both of them. But here there is a disclaimer. The disclaimer is this, that non-vegetarian sources of omega-3 are much more important. Okay, so if you're a vegetarian, then omega-3 supplement will be probably one of the right choice for you. All right, but if you're a non-vegetarian, then yes, you have a lot of choices. The best source of omega-3 is fatty fish. All right, now this fish is usually a cold water fish. Okay, it's a fatty fish. Okay, in India, it is very difficult to get these types of fish. Although, you might say, yes, there is salmon available. We get tuna also. But it is cold water fatty fish, which is rich in omega-3, particularly which is seen in cold countries like Norway. Okay. So, this fish is salmon, tuna, mackerel, sardines, and different kinds of seafood. Still, if you eat fish, it is still going to be very much beneficial even otherwise. All right. Omega-3, you are still going to get it. The other is cod liver oil. Now, if you're a vegetarian, then, these sources are very important for you. The most important is algae. Now, algae, you probably are not going to get it, in the form of some vegetables or something like that, but you can get it in the form of a supplement. All right. In fact, this algae is actually there in the oceans. This is actually the planktons, which is eaten by this salmon fish. Okay. And that is how this omega actually comes in the salmon fish. Okay. So this is right at the source. So if you're a vegetarian, then algae is actually a very good option because that is going to contain DHA, EPA. Okay. And that is going to be very beneficial for you. But yes, there are other sources of omega-3 also, which are rich vegetarian sources like flaxseed, chia seeds, walnuts, soybeans, and even spinach, hemp seeds, and even pasteurized eggs. Okay. So these are some of the vegetarian sources of omega-3. So what is the difference between vegetarian and non-vegetarian? We'll talk about it in subsequent discussion. But let's talk about the role of omega-3. Now, this is one of the crux, okay? And this is one of the most important things, and that is how omega-3 comes as a savior for us. The first important role of omega-3 is it supports heart health, okay? So heart के जो problems है उसको कम करने में help करेगा, okay? How does it help? It lowers the level of LDL as well as triglycerides, and it increases the levels of HDL. Now, for the information of everybody, LDL, in a layman terminology, is called as bad cholesterol, Whereas in layman terminology, HDL is a good cholesterol. Okay, so LDL and TG are bad. HDL is good. So we want more HDL and we want less of LDL and TG. And that is what omega-3 does. How does it do that? So basically, it actually decreases the formation of apolipoprotein B, okay, which is responsible for atherosclerosis. So जो arteries जो रहती है उसके अंदर जो plaque formation होता है, that is how you get heart attacks and hypertension and so many other problems. Okay, so what happens is that this fats, okay, this apolipoproteins, they actually gets deposited, okay, on the inner side of the blood vessel, and that is how they reduce the the width of the blood vessel, and that is how it creates problems. Okay, you can create a lot of cardiac issues. Okay, so this decreases, this omega-3 decreases the formation of apolipoprotein B. Not only that, but it actually increases, okay, the fatty acid oxidation as well. So triglycerides जो है उसका energy consumption जो है, that is improved. So more triglycerides will be used as a source of energy. And thanks to omega-3 that we are able to do that. And that is why, it is helpful in so many other conditions. Okay. So एपोलाइपोप्रोटीन बी कम हो जाएगा, फैटी एसिड ऑक्सीडेशन इंक्रीज हो जाएगा, इससे आपका एलडीएल लेवल्स कम हो जाएगा, टीजी कम हो जाएगा और एचडीएल लेवल्स भी बढ़ जाएगा. ओके, सो दैट इज हाउ इट सपोर्ट्स हार्ट हेल्थ. वेरी गुड. इट इज वेरी गुड फॉर प्रिवेंशन ऑफ हार्ट अटैक्स and hypertension. Very nice. All right. Then second is mental health. Now we need to understand this, that people talk about fats, and they are bad. But I'm telling you, fats are one of the most important things for us. Without fats, we can't survive. Okay, 60% of our brain, almost 60 to 70% of our brain is fats. Our nervous system is fats. Okay, just imagine how can we live without fats. Okay, fats have been defamed recently, but the defamation, you understand that it is for bad fats, unhealthy fats. Okay, but why the good fats needs to get defamed? All right, so understand this, that we need fats for our brain, for our mental health, because 60 to 70% of the brain is made up of fats. And if you're deficient in omega-3, you're going to land up with psychological problems, depression, schizophrenia, bipolar disorders, Alzheimer's disease, and so on. Okay, so omega-3 is good in prevention of these diseases, even Parkinson's disease. Okay, I have seen people who take omega-3 supplements, they get benefited in different kinds of neurological problems. Okay, even in multiple sclerosis, even other things. Okay, so omega-3 is extremely important for mental health. Do not discount that. We'll talk about mental health also in greater details in an hour. And just imagine, nervous system, 90% of it is made up of DHA. Okay, DHA. So how can we ignore that? We need omega-3 for mental health, for sure. Okay. Now, eye health. This is another thing which is very important. So age-related macular degeneration, that AMD, omega-3 is very good for prevention of it. And it might improve also. Why? Okay, because actually, if you see the retina and the visual pathways, those are the extension of the brain only. Okay, those are the extension of the brain only. And that is why omega-3 is very important. We just talked about how it is responsible for the nervous system. That is how it is also responsible for the eye health, because omega-3 has a good role in the development of the retina. Okay, and if you take omega-3, then it will help in prevention of AMD, and it will also actually increase the aqueous tear production. So आपका जो tear जो है, ठीक है, जो आंखों में जो tear production होता है, उसको भी increase करता है, and that is how it is very good for eye health also. Okay, the other benefit is that it is anti-inflammatory. Okay, so how it is anti-inflammatory? It actually suppresses the production of inflammatory agents. Inflammatory मतलब क्या? कि सूजन पैदा करती है, जो swelling पैदा करती है cells में. This inflammation that we are talking about. This is within the cells and each and every cell of our body. Okay, and typically those who have an inflamed body, they will have high sensitive CRP. Okay, HSCRP, they will have typically on a higher side. Okay, that means their body is inflamed. Okay, and body is shooting the cytokines and eicosanoids again and again, and that is how the cells are inflamed. So omega-3 actually reduces the inflammation in these cells, and that is the reason that it is very good in autoimmune disorders. Okay, so autoimmune conditions जो है, ठीक है, तो उसमें ये इन्फ्लेमेशन को कम करता है, रूमेटॉइड आर्थराइटिस में कम करता है, इन्फ्लेमेटरी बाउल डिसीज जैसे कि क्रॉस डिसीज है या फिर अल्सरेटिव कोलाइटिस है, उसमें भी ओमेगा 3 इट डिक्रीजेस अ लॉट ऑफ इन्फ्लेमेशन इन द गट, एंड दैट इज हाउ इट इज हेल्पफुल इन दीज कंडीशंस एज वेल. ओके. Healthy skin. Okay, we talked about inflammation. So if you see psoriasis, dermatitis, this is actually happening at the skin level. But there is a lot of problems which are going on within the body also in these conditions. These conditions actually are autoimmune disorders. All right. So हमने अभी just बात किया था कि autoimmune disorders में because of its anti-inflammatory action, it is helpful. Similarly, it is helpful in the skin conditions also like psoriasis and dermatitis because of its anti-inflammatory action. In fact, in psoriasis, it is also helpful because it helps in reduction of fatty liver. Okay, so fatty liver actually has a good role. Okay, in prevention of psoriasis. So if you are taking good omega 3, then your liver health improves, and that is how your psoriasis also will improve. Okay, supports pregnancy and early life. Now, this is extremely critical. So if there is a pregnant lady and she's not taking omega 3 properly, there is a chance that the brain development of the child, the visual development of the child can be a problem. Not only that, but the mother can undergo perinatal depression, okay? Because omega 3, as we just discussed, it is so much important for mental health. तो जस्ट इमेजिन करिए, ठीक है, ब्रेन का डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है बच्चे का और उसको ओमेगा 3 नहीं मिल रहा है, एंड वेर एज 90% ऑफ द नर्वस सिस्टम इज मेड अप ऑफ डीएचए एंड 60 to 70% ऑफ ब्रेन इज मेड अप ऑफ फैट्स, जिसमें कि मेजर पोर्शन डीएचए और ईपीए का है. हाउ कैन वी इग्नोर दैट? It is not possible that we can ignore those omega 3s. So very important for brain visual development, and also those kids who are deficient in omega 3, there is a good correlation between omega 3 deficiency and attention deficit hyperactive disorder. Okay, so make sure that if you're pregnant, you take good dosage of omega 3 so that not only you are protected from this perinatal depression, but your kid, your child, that is also protected from any mental issues. All right. Then you have fatty liver. Okay, now fatty liver, basically, as we said, it increases the burning of triglycerides. Okay, so all the fats which are deposited in the liver, okay, omega 3 will help in the burning of that fat, and it will also prevent the deposition of the fat. So what it does is that it actually stimulates an enzyme which is called as lipoprotein lipase, and that is how it will increase fat burning. And because of that, the fat burning in the insulin in the liver also increases. And as the fat deposition within the cells starts coming down, more fat is burned, the insulin resistance also starts dropping down. And you will see that, reversal of diabetes is happening. Okay, the visceral fats are dropping down, you're losing weight, okay, and so many other benefits, okay. That is how you will also see that there is a reduction in the triglyceride levels, LDL levels. So your lipid profile also starts improving. So if you do serial ultrasounds and check your fatty liver, then you will see that your fatty liver, if it was grade 2, it's coming to grade 1, and then there will be a complete resolution of fatty liver. As the fatty liver drops down, your insulin sensitivity starts increasing, okay? Because the main seat of insulin resistance is the liver, okay? So good. So this is about fatty liver. Last but not the least, it is very helpful in asthma, COPD, and allergy. Again, it is an anti-inflammatory action, okay? And if somebody has allergic issues, they need to start taking omega 3. Not only that, but they should actually escalate the dose of omega 3, and that is going to be very beneficial for patients having asthma, COPD, and allergic issues. All right. Now, this is a very important slide that I wanted to discuss. So we talked about vegetarian and non-vegetarian sources, and here there is an important thing that you need to understand. Okay, so DHA and EPA, these are mainly non-vegetarian sources. Okay, so if you see the sources, this is fish oil, and the only vegetarian source is algae, which you can get only in the form of supplementation. Okay, not in the form of some food to eat. Okay, so if you see from the food, if you're going to get the omega 3, it is mainly non-vegetarian source, particularly DHA and EPA. Okay, and these two are the most important because these two are major parts, major components of your brain and nervous tissue. Okay, particularly DHA, very, very important. So if you see DHA, brain, all right, it is very important for brain. All right, and then it is important for eyes and heart. Okay, EPA is important for eye, heart, and inflammation. Okay, now ALA is something which you get it from vegetarian sources. All right, very easily, and lot of the concentration you will get from vegetarian sources of ALA. Now, here is a problem. Okay, we just saw that brain actually is made predominantly with DHA, but we are getting ALA. Okay, from vegetarian sources. Now, this is the problem. Okay, so we have flaxseed, we have chia seeds, ample amounts, we have walnuts, ample amount, but the problem is that we are not getting DHA. We are getting ALA. That is a problem. Okay, and the thing is that ALA is converted into EPA and DHA just up to 2 to 5%, or probably even less than that. Okay, so the conversion of ALA to EPA and DHA within our body is very, very less. Okay, and that's the reason that vegetarian sources we might take, but if you want actual DHA or EPA, then still we are going to get less. So if you're a vegetarian, then the best thing that you can do is you can take algae along with flaxseed, chia seeds, walnuts. Okay, that you can take. Now, one more point. A lot of people say, oh, I'm taking oils. Okay, I'm taking flaxseed oil. Okay. Now you understand these are very sensitive, flaxseed oil, very sensitive. You need to store them in a cold place. You should not expose them to the sunlight. Okay. The bottles also should be dark colored bottles, and they need a lot of, handling, gentle handling. Otherwise, they immediately will get oxidized and boom, we have lost the benefit. Okay. If they get oxidized, it doesn't make any sense. All right. So I hope that this video was helpful and you learned today about omega-3. And I hope that you will start inculcating omega-3 in your diet from henceforth. All right. Thank you very much for listening. Stay tuned and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.